So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Creatrix channel. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Soni and I have cleared engineering services examination 2 times from electronics and telecommunication branch, both times in double digit rank. In 2014 my rank was 98 and in 2015 my rank was 25th. I have served as a Group A Gastro Officer in Indian Railways and in Indian Telecommunication Services. So most of you must have been following me on the Creatrix channel for electromagnetic field theory. So if you are a seeker of a free education, this is the channel for you, and you must understand that all these free initiatives is coming your way because of the Unacademy. So Unacademy is the revolution in the field of the free education and the affordable education. So how can you access those free courses? So if you want to access the free courses, you must immediately subscribe this channel, Creatrix channel, because all the top educators of the country is providing the free course on this channel. And that free course is absolutely brilliant in content, that is systematic, that is organized, and that is complete. So complete playlist you will be getting of a particular subject. You can develop the concept, you can gain confidence. More than that, you can love the subject. So immediately subscribe this channel. Secondly, if you want to access more free content, then you must immediately download the Unacademy Learners app, because on the Unacademy Learners app, top educators of the country are conducting the free special classes. In that free special classes, you can get topic wise clarity of a particular concept. And do not forget to follow me on the Unacademy Learning app. So you can also access the courses. So you must have two things. First is your YouTube channel. This YouTube channel, Creatrix YouTube channel, must be subscribed. Secondly, you must understand that you should have the Unacademy Learning app. That is must for you in order to crack the examination. So these are the parts of the free education. And if you want to organize your content well, if you want more comprehensive manner, if you want other advantages of the Unacademy, then what are the other initiatives that is running by the Unacademy? So another initiative that is running by the Unacademy is Unacademy Plus. So on the Unacademy Plus, this is very affordable for those who actually want to take their preparation to the next level. So आपको Unacademy Plus में क्या क्या मिलेगा? You will be getting the live classes on a fixed time, so that you can get more disciplined, you can get more organized, and you have something in your mind that at this particular time my classes are going to run. Apart from that, you will get free test series designed by the educator itself. So gone those times when we have lot of errors in the test series, we do not have the discussions of the test series. So there the test series will be conducted by the educators. They themselves will be discussing the solutions of that particular thing. So you can imagine that your preparation is going to the next level for this. Apart from that, those who have prepared themselves for the examination, so for them there are crash courses also available. Again the crash courses will going to help you in achieve good ranks. Those who have already achieved good ranks and want to improve their rank, for them there are rank improvement batches. More than that, you can also see that there are unlimited practice sessions. So what do you understand by unlimited practice session? Which means there will be various doubt solving sessions. Apart from the doubt solving sessions, there are weekly quizzes, and with the help of those weekly quizzes you can enhance your problem solving skills. So lot of unlimited doubt solving sessions, lot of quiz sessions, systematic content, structured content. You can download the PDF after the lectures, so you don't have to waste your time in order to making notes. You can utilize those times to practice the particular concepts, or you can use those times to just write down the formulas so that you can remember those formulas quickly. Apart from this plus subscription, there is also one subscription which is known as Iconic. So Iconic subscriptions are for them who actually do not have the self motivation but having the talent. So if they are having the talent and you do not have the self motivation, that how can I push myself to crack the examination, so in this Iconic subscription you will be assigned a personal coach. So this personal coach is going to be with you every time, and he will help you to achieve your dreams. You will get a study planner which will be customized for you. You will get the expert guidelines who have already topped the examination. They will be basically hand holding you to crack the examination. So if you think you are not self motivated, if you think you do not have the proper background to crack any particular competitive examination, so this Iconic subscription is must for you. This is going to help you. So if you want the free education, then YouTube channel and the special classes are must for you. And if you can afford a little bit, how much you should afford, that we'll discuss in a while. But if you can afford a little bit, you should come on to this Unacademy Plus. And more than that, if you want the expedited process in your preparation, आप जल्दी से एग्जाम निकालना चाहते हैं, जल्दी से अपनी गलतियां सुधारना चाहते हैं, so this Iconic subscription is for you. Then now let us start today's lecture, which is on the communication system. So now let us start the lecture. Hello friends. So in the last lecture we studied about transmission and reception of voice signal through SSB-SC arrangement. So in this lecture we will study about the transmission and reception of video signal through SSB-SC arrangement.
We know that video signal is a practical signal, so we will try to transmit and receive the video signal through SSBSC arrangement. So first of all, let me remind the frequency of a video signal. Video signal assumes frequencies from 0 to 4.5 megahertz. So if I am assuming m of t to be my video signal, then the frequencies will be m of f. On the positive side, it will occupy frequencies from 0 to 4.5, and this axis I am assuming it is in megahertz, so I am writing just 4.5 here. Similarly, it will have negative frequencies, which is minus 4.5 megahertz. Since for video signal is a real signal, so their magnitude spectrum should always be even. So that is why this particular spectrum I am assuming for my video signal. Now we know the process of generating an SSB signal. So first of all, what we will do, we will generate a DSP signal. So to generate the DSP signal, what we will do, we will shift the spectrum of M of F, FC by right side and FC by left side. So the spectrum will be FC, FC plus 4.5, FC minus 4.5. Similarly on the left hand side also, it will be minus FC, minus FC plus 4.5 and minus FC minus 4.5. This is the spectrum of double sideband suppressed carrier system. Now we know that all the spectrum above FC will be denoted as upper sideband and all the spectrum below FC is denoted as lower sideband. Similarly here also, all this band of frequency will represent upper sideband and this band of frequencies will represent the lower sideband. Now just tell me, what is the spectral spacing between lower sideband and upper sideband? So you can see clearly here, there is no spectral spacing between upper sideband and lower sideband, or I can say the spectral spacing delta f is 0. Here also the spectral spacing delta f is 0, which means there is not at all any spectral spacing present in LSB and USB of a DSP modulated signal, while when we were transmitting the voice signal, there was a spectral spacing of 600 Hz between USB and LSB. So now let me try to generate the SSB signal. So this was our DSP signal. The spectrum was shifted to FC and minus FC. So this was FC, FC plus 4.5, FC minus 4.5. This is minus FC. This is minus FC plus 4.5, minus FC minus 4.5. And obviously this axis will be in megahertz. Now, to generate a SSB signal, practically we use frequency discrimination method, and in frequency discrimination method we pass it through a band pass filter. So in first case I am taking ideal band pass filter. So the characteristics of ideal band pass filter will be FC to FC plus 4.5 and peak value will be 1. Since the filter is ideal, hence the transition from pass band to stop band will always be sharp. Similarly on the negative side also, the transition from pass band to stop band will always be sharp. So it will be minus fc minus 4.5 minus fc. This value is 1. So what will be the output? The output is a single sideband suppressed carrier. So we are successfully able to generate a single sideband. So this is the single sideband FC, FC 4.5 minus FC minus FC minus 4.5, and both these sidebands are upper sideband. Now, since video signal is a practical signal, hence obviously in a practical setup we cannot use an ideal band pass filter. So this generation of a single sideband suppressed carrier or an SSB-SC modulated video signal is generated only theoretically. Practically, the generation of a single sideband when video signal is double sideband suppressed carrier modulated is possible only when we are using ideal bandpass filter. But in practical setup, ideal bandpass filter is not available. So let us see what happens in a practical setup. In practical setup, we know that the spectrum of SDSBT is this is the modulated signal FC 4.5, FC minus 4.5. Similarly here also minus FC plus 4.5 minus FC minus 4.5. So this is the DSP modulated signal. Now in a practical setup, instead of an ideal bandpass filter, we will always have a practical bandpass filter. So what is the characteristics of the practical bandpass filter? A practical bandpass filter will always have smooth transition from pass band to stop band. So this transition will be smooth. Similarly, here also the transition from pass band to stop band will always be smooth. It will not be sharp. So this is minus FC. This is minus FC minus 4.5. So let us observe the output. The given arrangement is SSB-SC arrangement. So let me draw the output. So just observe what this bandpass filter will allow. It will allow all the frequencies above FC. So the above FC, the frequency component is up to FC plus 4.5. So it will completely allow this sideband which is from FC to FC plus 4.5. Now it will also allow some frequencies below FC. Let me name this frequency as FQ. So below FC it will allow frequencies up to FQ. Now if I extend FQ here, so if this frequency is FQ, so it allows a small section or remaining section or small portion of second sideband also. So if this is your upper sideband and this is your lower sideband, so when practical bandpass filter is used, in that case the upper sideband is completely transmitted while a small portion of lower sideband is also being transmitted. Similarly on the negative side also, let me rename this frequency as minus FQ. So what it will do, it is allowing all the frequencies below minus FC. So below minus FC we have frequencies up to minus FC minus 4.5 megahertz. So it is completely allowing this upper side band, which is minus FC to minus FC minus 4.5, and also it is allowing frequencies above minus FC up to minus FQ. So if this frequency is minus FQ, this practical band pass filter is also allowing the frequencies from minus FC to minus FQ. And if you'll observe here, the practical band pass filter is completely allowing the upper sideband, but it is also allowing the small portion of lower sideband. So let us observe here. This is our DSP modulated signal, and when I am passing my DSP modulated signal to a band pass filter, then what I am getting? I am getting one complete sideband and small portion of other sideband, which is small portion of LSB. So now tell me, will it be fair to name this modulation scheme or this waveform as SSB SC modulated waveform? What is the meaning of SSB SC? SSB SC means we have to transmit only single sideband and other sideband plus carrier should be completely suppressed. But in this case, we can observe very well from here that one complete sideband is being transmitted, but the second sideband is not completely suppressed. Rather, a small portion of second sideband is also being transmitted. Similarly, from here also, the one sideband, that is upper sideband, is completely being transmitted, while some small portion of lower sideband or the other sideband is also being transmitted. So what we can say that whenever voice signal is passed through SSB-SC arrangement, in that case we were able to generate single sideband suppressed carrier signal. Now when video signal is transmitted through SSB-SC arrangement, we are not able to generate single sideband suppressed carrier signal. Rather, when video signal is transmitted through SSB-SC arrangement, it is generating a single sideband plus small or vestigial portion of second sideband, or we can see that this can be termed as vestigial sideband suppressed carrier signal. So this is very important observation which you should understand, that whenever any signal such as voice signal, when it is DSP modulated, there is enough spectral spacing between USB and LSB. In that case, when it is passed through a practical bandpass filter, we are able to generate a single sideband suppressed carrier signal. In that case, only single sideband is generated, other sideband is completely suppressed and carrier is also suppressed. Now, if signal such as video signal, if it is DSP modulated, then spectral spacing between USB and LSB is 0, And whenever such type of signals are passed through practical bandpass filter, we are never going to generate a single sideband suppressed carrier signal. Rather, we will always have a vestigial sideband suppressed carrier signal. So let me summarize all these points. Whenever a voice signal is passed through an SSB-SC arrangement, SSB-SC arrangement includes first DSP modulated signal plus followed by a practical bandpass filter. So whenever a voice signal is passed through an SSB-SC arrangement, we will always get a single sideband suppressed carrier signal. Now, whenever a video signal is passed through a single sideband suppressed carrier arrangement, in that case, we will never get single sideband suppressed carrier signal. Rather, we will get a vestigial sideband suppressed carrier signal. So, what is SSB-SC arrangement? So, the SSB-SC arrangement includes your message signal. This is the DSP modulator, your carrier signal, followed by a practical bandpass filter. So this is your SSB-SC arrangement. So now, whenever the voice signal is given to this arrangement, this is DSP modulator, this is your carrier, and this is practical bandpass filter. So what will be the output? Whenever voice signal is DSP modulated, there is enough spectral spacing between USB and LSB, and when it is passed through a practical bandpass filter of proper choice, then we will always get a single sideband suppressed carrier signal. Similarly, if video signal is transmitted to a DSP-SC modulator, in that case, delta F is always 0. We will use a practical bandpass filter. In that case, we will never get a single sideband. Rather, along with single sideband, we will also get vestigial sideband, or the remaining portion of the second sideband. So we will always get vestigial sideband suppressed carrier signal. So the single sideband suppressed carrier signal cannot be generated for all type of message signals. It can be generated only for those types of message signals in which if the message signal is DSP modulated, they should always have enough spectral spacing between LSB and USB. Now, let us try to recover the message signal, and we know that the SSB-SC demodulator has synchronous detector. So this will be our modulated signal. Now we will have a multiplier, and I'm assuming the locally generated carrier is perfectly synchronized in phase and frequency. After that, we will pass it through a low pass filter. So input I'm assuming as x of t, output as y of t. What is the characteristic of low pass filter? The characteristic of low pass filter is it is band limited to the maximum frequency of the message signal. So this is 4.5 megahertz. What is the value of xt here? Xt will be st cos omega ct. So x of f will become s of f plus fc plus s of f minus fc by 2. So we know the graph of s of f. The graph of s of f is fc, fq, fc plus 4.5. Similarly, on the negative side also, minus FQ minus FC minus FC minus 4.5. So from here we have to draw two diagrams. First is S of F plus FC, which means we have to shift the graph of S of F FC by leftwards. So when we will shift this graph FC by leftwards, so this frequency becomes minus 2 FC, it becomes minus FC minus FQ, and it becomes minus 2 FC minus 4.5. Similarly, when this is shifted FC by leftwards, so it becomes 0, 4.5 and minus FC plus FQ. Similarly, if we have to draw the spectrum of S of F minus FC, which means this spectrum is shifted FC by rightwards. So this will become 2FC, 2FC plus 4.5, FC plus FQ, and we will get this point as FC minus FQ, this point as 0, and this is as minus 4.5. So now we have to add these two spectrums. So when you will add these two spectrums, let me show the common frequencies. So this will become minus FC plus FQ, and this frequency will become FC minus FQ. So we have to add these two graphs. So from minus 4 point to minus FC plus Q, it has 0 value, and from FC minus Q to 4.5, this signal has 0 value. So this is minus 4.5, this is 4.5. So the graph will add only between from minus FC plus FQ to FC minus FQ, minus FC plus FQ to FC minus FQ. So only this section of graph is added and remaining graph will be constant. So we can see here from minus FC to plus FQ, this graph has a negative slope and this graph is also negative slope. So both the slope gets added. Similarly, from 0 to 4.5, this graph has positive slope, and from 0 to FC minus FQ, the graph has positive slope. So in both these cases, the graph has positive slope, and while from minus FCQ to 0 and minus FC plus FQ2 to 0, the graph has negative slope. So these negative slopes will be added. Now let me add these two signals. So now let me add these two graphs. So once these two graphs are added, we get the spectrum of X of F. So let me add these two graphs. So the graph which is centered at 2FC will be added to 0 value. Similarly, the graph which is added to minus 2FC will be added to 0 value. So let me add these two graphs. So this is the graph which is centered at 2FC. Similarly, on the negative side also, we will have a graph which is centered at minus 2FC. Now what will happen in between? We know that in between from minus 4.5 to minus FC plus FQ, no graph is present in S of F plus FC. So this graph will be same from minus 4.5 to minus FC minus plus FQ. Similarly, on the right side also, the graph from Fc minus Fq to 4.5 will be same as previously. The graph will add only between minus Fc plus Fq to 0 and 0 to Fc minus Fq. So I will add the slope, and after adding the slope will increase. So once the slope is increased, I can draw this diagram something like this. Let me make this slope a little bit flatter. Here also a little bit flatter. Now we have to add the graph in between. So the slope will increase and we will have graph something like this. So basically you have to change the slope in this section and in this particular section. So now after that it is passed through a low pass filter, and we know that the cutoff frequencies of low pass filter is equal to the maximum frequency component of message signal. So this will be from minus 4.5 to plus 4.5. And what will be the output? The output will be this will be the output from minus 4.5 to 4.5 megahertz, while the spectrum of the transmitted video signal was this, in which there was no slope change from minus 4.2 plus 4.5. So here we can see the recovered signal is completely different between this particular frequency range. Hence, the video signal when transmitted by using SSPSC arrangement cannot be recovered by the synchronous detector. So, the video signal when transmitted through SSPSC arrangement cannot be recovered by synchronous or coherent detector. And the reason is again very simple, because when video signal is transmitted through SSPSC arrangement, we are not actually getting the single sideband suppressed carrier signal. We are getting vestigial sideband suppressed carrier signal. That is why at the receiver also we are not able to recover the message signal completely. Hence, by using SSPSC arrangement, we will transmit only voice signal. So, for point to point voice communication, we will prefer single sideband suppressed carrier arrangement. And for point to multi-point voice communication, we will prefer double sideband full carrier arrangement. So this point is also very important. So now let us discuss the advantages of SSB-SC. So first and foremost advantage is that it is bandwidth efficient modulation scheme. Second advantage is it is also power efficient transmission scheme. Third advantage is it is not affected by quadrature null effect. Fourth advantage of SSB-SC transmission is that it can be used for point-to-point voice communication. What are the disadvantages? The first disadvantage, which is it is having very much complex receiver. Second is locally generated carrier must be perfectly synchronized in both phase and frequency. In both phase and frequency, which means delta omega and delta phi both should be 0, then only message signal can be recovered. Also, single sideband suppressed carrier signals cannot be generated for video signals. So these are few major disadvantages of SSB-SC. Now we have observed that we cannot transmit the video signal by using SSB-SC arrangement. So what we will do, we will use another modulation scheme which is known as vestigial sideband suppressed carrier modulation scheme to transmit the video signals. So first of all, let me discuss that whenever video signal is transmitted through SSB-SC arrangement. So what was SSB-SC arrangement? It was a DSP modulator followed by a practical band pass filter. So we were not getting SSB-SC signal here. Rather, we were getting vestigial sideband suppressed carrier signal. All because of this practical bandpass filter. We were using a practical bandpass filter which was not allowing a single sideband, rather it was just passing a single sideband and also the vestigial portion of second sideband. So in vestigial sideband suppressed carrier, what we will do, we will try to design a filter which transmits and recovers, which helps in transmission and recovery of the video signal. So in SSB-SC arrangement, all the problems were arising due to this practical bandpass filter. So in VSB-SC, what we will do, we will try to design this filter such that our video signal is transmitted and recovers successfully at the receiver. So now let us discuss about the VSBSC transmitter or VSBSC modulator. So what is VSBSC transmitter? Now VSBSC transmitter is very much similar to SSBSC transmitter, but the practical bandpass filter is replaced by an unknown filter, and we will try to design that filter. So what we will do, first of all, we will take our message signal. It will be given to a DSB modulator. This will be carrier signal. Now instead of giving it to a practical bandpass filter, I am writing an unknown filter, and we will try to design that filter. So the output which comes out to be is known as SVSB-T, and this is our carrier signal. So what will be the SVSB-T? It will be X of T multiplied with, convolution with HI T. And what will be the frequency domain value of VSB modulated signal? It will be X omega HI omega. So we need to find out X omega. So what will be X omega? It will be X of T equal to multiplied with MT into CT. So this will become AC cos omega CT into MT. So the X omega will become AC by 2 M of omega minus omega C plus AC by 2 M of omega plus omega C. So the S omega becomes X omega into HI omega, or it becomes AC by 2 HI omega M of omega minus omega C plus AC by 2 HI omega M of omega plus omega C. So this is the spectrum of the VSB modulated signal. This is spectrum of the VSB modulated signal. Now let us try to recover the signal. So we have to use VSB-SC demodulator or receiver. So the VSB-SC demodulator or receiver is very similar to synchronous detector. So in the case 1, I am assuming that synchronous detector has ideal low pass filter. So it will receive S of T as input. I am assuming the locally generated carrier is perfectly synchronized in both phase and frequency, and this is the output filter, or this is the low pass filter. So I'm assuming this as X of T, this is as Y of T, and this low pass filter only allows frequencies from 0 to omega m, or it is band limited to maximum frequency component present in message signal. So first of all, what will be the X of T? It will be AC dash ST cos omega CT, and from here X of omega will become AC dash by 2 S of omega plus omega C plus AC dash by 2 S of omega minus omega C. So we know that what was S omega? S omega was AC dash by 2 AC by 2 M of omega plus omega C plus M of omega minus omega C into HI omega. So what will be the value of X omega? It is AC dash by 2 S of omega minus omega c plus AC dash by 2 S of omega plus omega c. So it will become AC into AC dash by 4 m omega plus m of omega minus 2 omega c into hi of omega minus omega c. So this is the value of S of omega minus omega c plus AC into AC dash by 4. When we will put S of omega plus omega c, every omega will be replaced by omega plus omega c. So it will become m of omega plus 2 omega c plus m of omega into hi of omega plus omega c. Now we know that the message signal, which is video signal, will have spectrum something like this. So this is your m omega minus omega m to omega m. So what will be the spectrum of m of omega plus omega c? The spectrum of m of omega plus omega c will be centered at minus omega c, and the spectrum of m of omega minus omega c will be centered at plus omega c. And both these spectrums, which is m of omega plus omega c and omega minus omega c, is again shifted to m of omega plus 2 omega c. So the spectrum of m of omega plus 2 omega c will be centered at minus 2 omega c, and the spectrum of m of omega minus 2 omega c will be centered at plus 2 omega c. Now clearly we can see that the low pass filter at the receiver is centered from minus omega m to plus omega m. So it will not allow the terms which contain m of omega minus omega c and m of omega plus 2 omega c. So x of omega was AC dash by 4 m of omega plus m of omega minus omega c, omega minus 2 omega c hi omega plus AC into AC dash by 4 m of omega plus 2 omega c plus h omega. Here it will be omega minus omega c hi omega plus omega c. In this term is not passed by the low pass filter. Similarly, this term is also not passed by the low pass filter. So what will be the value of low pass filter output? So the value of low pass filter output becomes AC into AC dash by 4 m omega hi of omega minus omega c plus AC into AC dash by 4 m omega hi of omega plus omega c. So this is the low pass filter h omega minus omega m to omega m, and the output which we are getting y omega, it is the product of x omega into h omega. So whenever we will take the product, the final result will exist only frequencies between minus omega m to omega m. So the output which is written here is valid only when omega is varying between minus omega to plus omega m, or I can write that mod omega should be less than or equal to omega m. So from here the output that we get is AC into AC dash by 4 m omega and in bracket it is h of omega minus omega c plus hi omega plus omega c, and this output we are observing in the frequency range from minus omega m to plus omega m. Now the y omega which we got is AC into AC dash by 4 m omega hi of omega plus omega c plus hi of omega minus omega c, and mod omega should be less than or equal to m. So now when we can say that this synchronous detector or this VSB demodulator is able to recover our message signal. So whenever y omega will be equal to m omega multiplied by some DC value, then we will say that our message signal has been recovered. But along with this DC and this message signal, we are also getting an expression which is related to the frequency response of the input filter. So from here I'm making a relation that whenever h of I omega plus omega c and h of I omega minus omega c is constant in between this particular frequency range, that is from minus omega m to omega m, in all that cases our y of omega will become AC into AC dash by 4 m omega multiplied by some constant, or I can say that y omega will be some DC value multiplied by m omega. So to recover our m omega, we will pass it through an amplifier and our message signal is recovered. So whenever a video signal is passed through VSPSC arrangement, in that case we have replaced our band pass filter to a general filter, that is hi omega. So all those filters which are satisfying this particular property in the given frequency range will always allow the recovery of message signal at the receiver, whether it is the video signal, voice signal or any other signal. So the VSPSC arrangement uses a filter which has characteristic hi of omega plus omega c plus hi of omega minus omega c equal to constant in the frequency range minus omega m to omega m, or sometimes it is also written as hi of f plus fc plus hi of f minus fc equal to constant in the given frequency range less than or equal to fm. So all the DSP modulated signal which has spectral spacing between lower and upper 0 or spectral spacing between lower and upper sideband is non-zero for both these DSP modulated signals. When it is passed through this particular filter hi omega, then we always get a VSP modulated signal, and at the receiver we are always able to recover the message signal from SVSP omega. So when it is passed through VSPSC demodulator, we are always able to recover the message signal as long as this relation holds true. So what is the advantage or what is the luxury given by this VSPSC arrangement? This VSPSC arrangement basically uses a general filter, so that whenever a DSP modulated signal is passed through this filter, we will generate a signal which is denoted as SVSP of omega. Now whenever this SVSP of omega is passed through the synchronous detector or the VSP demodulator, we will always recover the message signal as long as this relation holds true. So the VSP-SC demodulator is a general demodulator which can recover any type of signal, whether the spectral spacing between DSP-SC modulated signal is 0 or whether the spectral spacing between LSP and USP of DSP modulated signal is non-zero. For both type of signals, it will always recover your message signal.
So if you have liked today's lecture and you want to subscribe to Unacademy Plus, the very first thing that you should understand that you should use this particular code. What is the code? The code is VishalGate. Write my name and attach gate to it. So by using this particular code, you will be getting all the advantages of the Unacademy Plus. All the added advantages will be directly assigned to you. Secondly, you will directly come to under my guidance, and that will surely help you to crack the examination in the least possible time, and you will also get the guidance of the complete team. Okay, and the most important thing is that you will immediately get the 10% discount on that. So immediately you are enabled to get 10% discount once you use this coupon code. So for example, if you talk about the Plus subscription, which is costing you 25,000 for 1 year, and if you use this coupon code VishalGate, immediately you are going to get 10% discount, which is 22,500. And if you talk about the Iconic, for the Iconic subscription of the 12 month, this will cost you around 40,400. So these are the cost of the 12 months. And if you want to talk about the 2-year subscription, 2-year subscription cost of the Plus, it is your 27,000 after discount. If you want more discount than 10%, and you have already attended the special classes, then you will be having some credits in your account. Do not forget to use those credits so that you can get more discount than 10%. Now, how can you pay these amounts? So there is one good news for you, that you can pay this amount by using credit cards and debit cards by using the facility of the zero cost EMI. So if you want to pay this particular amount of 22,500 with the help of zero cost EMI, so the zero cost EMI can be availed by using credit cards and debit cards. Remember, you can use the credit card of any company, but the debit card is allowed for HDFC and the Bajaj Finserv. Apart from that, if you want to directly pay this much of amount, you think that this particular amount is the most affordable fees that can be provided to you for 1 year subscription, तो आप directly क्या कर सकते हैं? You can use this credit card, debit card, direct payment. You can also go for the EMI options, okay, and you can directly pay this amount by using net banking. Every time you think of the Unacademy Plus subscription, the first thing that should come in your mind is this particular code. Do not forget to use this code once you take the subscription, because I have already told you that this particular coupon code is going to give you the lot of advantages, so you cannot miss the opportunity to use this code. So every student who want to come on to the Unacademy Plus, they want to take the advantages of the Unacademy Plus, they want to empower themselves in the best possible manner in this digital era, they want to be the part of this revolution, then this is the time for you. You do not have to wait for it. If you are in the first year, if you are in the second year, you are in the third year, the best possible time is right now to prepare for the examination, to dedicate yourself, to give yourself the opportunity so that you can get the success as early as possible. Apart from that, you should also join this GATE aspirant group. So this GATE aspirants group is already having 150k plus students, so you can join it. There are a lot of discussions going on between students. You can get the advantage of those discussions. Okay, you can also join this Creatrix channel, which is a Telegram channel. So everyone has to join this channel so that you can get all the PDFs of the lecture which is being assigned to you. Fine. There are various channels which you can go for it. So various channels in the association with Creatrix. So you can follow the channel of your interest. And this is it in today's lecture. So let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you so much.